Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Nitro Racing League here on the channel. Today we have a brand new race at Road America road course here on the Nitro schedule for today. Now, very excited to get going for this one. I'm a big fan of road course racing, so my hopes are pretty high. You can see I qualified actually in the 6th position on this race. Andrew in the 9 got the pole for this one. Now, as we're going to jump right into the action here as we get ready for Road America. Very quick race this is actually. The first 2 stages, only about 5 laps in stage 1, and then the second stage is only 4 laps, so very quick, very fast pace here in Road America, so we got to be ready for just a quick race. Definitely, I think, the shortest one of the season here as we dive down into turn 1. I was very safe, to say the least, into turn 1, trying to make sure we don't run into anybody there, as you see me side by side with my teammate of Matt in that 20 car. So already up 1 spot into that 5th position now, actually giving it back up though to Matt there as we come through out of turn 2. They're already going 3 wide up in front of us there between Andrew, the 4 of Durham, as well as the 48 of Tyler, as he's running that test paint scheme here today in Road America. As early on, it was actually the 24 of Combat, aka Connor, out in front of the pack here as we play it very safe again down here into turn 3. Getting up though the inside of the 4 there as Eddie kind of sent it on the right side, and we come very close there. We get out of the corner, no problems at all, thankfully, here as we come through down into turn 4 now, I think it is now, as we're running in that 5th position after passing that 4 car of Durham. So closing in now in the back of the 48 who goes off the track there, and then the 20 gets sideways, so we go through to 4th and then immediately through into the 3rd position here as we dive down into, I think now turn 6 it is. So you see the 24 of Connor, he goes a little bit wide now as we came through to the penultimate corner, approaching the final corner. Andrew takes the lead from the 24, his teammate, as we dive down now towards that final turn. Myself and Matt, P3 and P4, as we're trying to put the pressure on the back. The 24, he gets sideways on the exit of the corner, so now we look to the left hand side and we're going to move through into the 2nd position early on here in Road America past Connor now as we go down this front straightaway. So into that 2nd position, trying to run down Andrew now as we came through a little bit later on lap 2. Trying my best to stick with him. Andrew is one of the kings at road course racing, so it's definitely going to be a tough match against him now, as I consider myself to be pretty solid at road courses, but nowhere near to the level that Andrew is, as we came through running in the 2nd position through the carousel. Now 3rd place had belonged to Eddie there in the 88 car as we come through, getting the best exit I can. Still learning this track. I hadn't run any laps in practice getting ready for this track, so it was really a learning process, and I'm sure many were in the same situation. That was Andrew. He would go wide out of the final corner here on lap 2. We close the gap. We're going to go for the lead now as he's going to throw a huge block and actually push us off the track into the grass so he can hold on to the lead. We all keep it straight and get back going here as we go down this front straightaway. So Andrew holds on to the lead here as we hit 3 laps to go now in the 1st stage. So just trying to get back into a rhythm after that little moment that we just had, and I was struggling to get back into my rhythm here, as you can see me making some simple mistakes that I really should not be making. I was driving like a clown at some points in this race. Now as we came through the carousel, once again Eddie was closing the gap behind me here as we were approaching now 2 laps to go in this 1st and opening stage now. So we came through to 2 laps to go, turns 1. I make a bit of a mistake as well right there, and it was really a very mistake-filled 1st stage for myself, it felt like, here as we go down into turn 2, trying to hold off Eddie there in that 88 car. Now as he was struggling a little bit behind me, you could actually see in the mirror he kind of cut that 2nd corner a little bit, not on purpose, just because we're struggling so hard with this track. So we came through to start now the final lap of stage 1. Andrew with over now a 3-second lead, close to 4 seconds on this final lap here in stage 1 now, as I felt a little bit confident when we had run him down with the mistakes, and then once we had that contact, he was able to just drive away. Now as you can see me making more mistakes right there on the exit of the corner now, as they were just trying to run him down. Obviously not going to get him before the end of the stage, nowhere near enough time, and I don't have the speed to do it now as we came through out of the carousel though on the final lap, making a huge mistake, going spinning on the exit of the carousel now, and we're going to throw away any potential points that we were going to get here in stage 1. Maybe not, though. We actually are P4. Keep in mind the top 5 get stage points in Nitro, but there goes the 20 now of Matt right on by us on the left side. So we're holding on to 1 point right now here on the final lap of stage 1, but there you have the 48 of Tyler, who's going to send it up my inside into the next corner, and he is going to be able to take over P5, so I'm going to fight back though on the left hand side. Obviously we got to get everything we can get out of this. Every point matters now, but well, I mean, really not for us, because we are locked into the playoffs here as we come through the penultimate corner, very close there to the 48. Now the 4 of Durham is into the mix as well as we dive down into the final corner. I make a mistake right there, go way wide and completely throw away P6 as well and give that away to Durham. So we're going to come through to get P7 in stage 1 1, which means no stage points for us when we were running second to start the final lap, and even with half a lap to go, we were running second, and now here we are finishing P7 in stage 1. So a little bit disappointed with myself, to say the least, because that was all on me there on the final lap. I just made so many mistakes, and then I just overcorrected on the exit of the carousel, and unfortunately we went around. So like I said, only the top 5 in Nitro get stage points. So no stage points for us now, as we would get ready though to go green for stage 2, where we lost 1 position on the pit lane now, as we took 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 fresh tires now, as we get ready to take the green flag side by side with the 4 of Durham. And then we got Matt and Tyler on that row in front of us now, as the green flag is back out, and we are back underway. The 38 car, I think it is actually back out in front now, as we dive down into turns 1 for the first time to start the stage 1 last lap here in stage 2, and the leader, the 38, just full sends through turns 1, crashes head on into the barrier. Or sorry, it was the 34 car, and well, he DNFs right there. He calls it quits. He left the race, so I'm assuming that's what he meant to do. Now, as he would be out as we came through, there was some contact there between the 48 and the 20. We get into the back of the 20 of Matt here as we go down this long straightaway heading down toward turns 3 now, as Andrew is back out front in front of his teammates of Eddie and whatnot, as well as I believe the 24 of Connor was back up there in the mix as well here, as we all dive down into turn 3, nearly making contact with the 4. Actually, I think I hit the 4 on his screen, so my apologies to Durham if I did. Now as the 24 goes wide, and so does the 48, so myself and Matt trying to get a move on it here as I get into the back of him again as we dive down into turn 4, just trying to follow Matt through, and sure enough, we get to the left-hand side of him, past the 48, back up into 4th we go. As we dive down into the next corner, I make a mistake, go through the sand, off the track, nearly coming back onto the track in front of other drivers, and now we're down to P10 as Connor goes by here, as they are all missing the corner in front of us there. The 38, the 18, the 19, our teammates go wide, and all of a sudden we're back up into 8th right now behind the 38 of RJ, as we're going to try to get around the left-hand side of him here as we come through the center of the carousel, as Andrew continues to lead the way now on the exit of the carousel. Side by side, we're loose there. We hit the 38, but at the same time of me getting loose, he got loose as well. He confirmed that was not on me. He just got loose and lost the control of the car. And now as we come through, heading down this straightaway, as we came through now on the exit of the right-hander on lap 1, we get past the 24 of Connor, who got loose once again. Everybody was getting loose here. And then we come through out of the final corner, now making a move to the left-hand side of Durham. So we move back into the top 5 again, as once again, we try to claw our way back through the field here in Road America. Definitely a frustrating start to this race, to say the least. Now as we came through a little bit later, the 48 gets sideways on the exit of the penultimate corner on the end of lap 2, so now that allows me to get through into the 4th position as he tries to fight back there on the exit of the last corner, but we just had a better run off now. So we move up into 4th place as we try to run down our teammate now of Matt O'Brien there in that 20 cars. We came through to just straight up to 2 laps to go. I make another mistake out of the penultimate corner and smash into the barrier, and completely, once again, throw any stage points away off of my own just simple mistake that I should not be making. And now we rejoin the track in P9 there as we were running down Matt, and I just, like I said, made a mistake. Into the barrier I went, and we throw away stage points once again. We know we have a good car, which was very frustrating for me now as it came through, though, running down our teammate of Even, who was struggling hard here today at the road course, as he throws a big block on us there coming through down the front stretch to the line. So it's going to be P9 in stage 2 as Andrew wins stage 2 for stage 1 and 2 sweep, and P9 of course means not a single stage point once again for us here in Road America. So not the start we were looking for today, but hopefully here in the 3rd and final stage we might be able to turn something around, as it's certainly been a bit of a chaotic race, to say the least, so far, as everybody is going to come into the pit lane here for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 tires. So we'll get ready to restart right behind the 4 of Durham and the 19 of Even, aka Jonathan, now as we're back underway for the start of stage 3, and it will be 12 laps here in the 3rd stage, so a good chunk of time here in Road America. That is longer than the first 2 stages combined. So we dive down toward turn 1, once again being very safe now, as we haven't had a single actual incident cause caution here yet today now, but now there is definitely some potential for that. There's like a very sideways on the exit of the corner, but there you saw a lot of 3, maybe even 4 wide for a moment here as we dive down into turn 2. They're going 3 wide again between the 9, the 48, as well as the 18. I force it on the left-hand side there of the 19. Then the 9 completely blindsides our teammate of Bryce and throws him into the concrete barrier. Still not sure after the race what happened between them two. I'm not sure if they just, if it was an accident or they just kind of connected. Still not sure about that, but we dive down into turn 3 and everybody goes absolutely insane. They're going 4, maybe even 5 wide we are for a brief moment there, as somehow we're going to come through and try to get up towards a top 5 as the 48. He's going a little bit wide. Andrew manages to make it through this mess, and as do I here as we move up into P4. So now once again setting the sights on these front 3 drivers, as I was very surprised to be in this position at this early on here in stage 3. Now as Andrew, he goes through turns 1, clearing the 20 of Matt, but then Matt actually fights him back here as we dive down toward turn 2. I'm right behind this little battle right now as they nearly come together going down into turn 2, and Matt hanging on for dear life as it looks like he was losing the back of the car now as we just kind of settle in right behind them both. And then sure enough, Matt actually loses the car on the exit of the left-hander there on lap 17. So now we move up into P3 and try to set our sights on second place of Andrew Wisdom now. So we expect to see Andrew probably go run down Eddie and maybe take the lead, but we came through out of the carousel. You heard that audio right there. My Cortana came up on my screen. I apparently thought I said, "Hey Cortana." So that completely messes us over. I'm trying to stay out of the way. I can barely see anything because I still have it up on my screen at this point, and I proceeded to drive with it on my screen all the way back to the pit lane. I was forced into the pit lane this very lap so I could get it out of the way now because my mouse was actually not plugged in at this time of recording, so I had to come into the pit lane with Cortana up on my screen. Now, I'm so sad you guys couldn't actually see how it was happening, but I had to plug my mouse back in, exit it off the screen, and just hope that it didn't pick me up again throughout the race. So now, unfortunately, like I said, we're forced into the pit lane, and we come out here in 13th or 14th, the only car left on the track at the very back now. So the situation now was there was 10 laps to go, and I had about 9 laps of field. We come through to hit 9 laps to go. There you see 9 laps of field. So all of a sudden I realized we're in for a very close field situation. So I thought about saving field, but I decided, you know what, this race has just been so weird, I'm just going to push to the end anyways. There might be a caution, who knows. But we come through some drivers now starting to come into the pit lane here. So we move up into now P11 at this point, and as the laps go on, we just continue to just drive past the other drivers that are coming into the pit lane. So we get up into P10 now with 7 laps to go here in Road America with 7 laps of field still in the car. So we come through now on lap 22, 6 laps to go. There you see we pass a big bulk of cars there, the 20 of Matt, the 24 of Connor, as well as the 48 of Tyler. So we move now up into P7 there as I make a mistake through turn 1. Thank goodness we keep it back on the track there as we dive down toward turn 2. So we come through now towards the penultimate corner. Andrew Wisdom had now come into the pit lane, so we were on the chase for him now as we came through out of that right-hander, got through there very well, the Canada corner that is called here as we come through down into the penultimate corner. But we come through now down the front straightaway, 5 laps to go here in Road America, which is still a good chunk of time, but we pass Andrew in the 9 cars. He actually got a speeding penalty, and that's the reason we were able to beat him out of the pit lane here as we were both closing in towards the back of the 43 of MJ here. Now as we get a little bit of a bump there from the 9 car, don't think he meant anything there, but he just kind of got to the back of us now as I braked a little bit early going into that corner, and sure enough, he is able to outbrake me now down into turn 3. So Andrew Wisdom gets up my left-hand side, but you remember back to the contact we had earlier in the race, I decided we're going to race him pretty hard here just because of that, you know. Try to race him as clean as I can because I didn't want to get into him, but like I said, I wanted to race him hard now as we came through down through the right-hander. We now go through side by side, but he clears us on the exit of the corner as we're both closing in on the back of MJ there in that 43 car. Tyler in the 48 just behind those. MJ goes a little bit wide, and Andrew and myself go through here, and now to 5th and 6th as Andrew through the kink actually goes off into the grass. There are a lot of drivers, including myself, had been doing that throughout the race now, and that allows me to put the attack back on, get up his right-hand side, but I brake so early into that corner that I give him once again the 5th position, so he gets clear. On the exit of the corner, he gets sideways there, so going down into the penultimate turn here, I get right towards his back bumper, almost get into the back of him. Thankfully, we do not now as we go down towards this final turn. So Andrew now holding on to that 5th position as I make a mistake there, so I thought, you know what, he's just going to drive away at this point here as we came through, though, on lap 24. Both of us kind of making some mistakes like you can see right there, so that allows me to actually stick with Andrew now as we came through down towards the left-hander. So even aka Jonathan in the 19, our teammate, currently leading this race as we came through to 3 laps ago out of turns 1. Andrew makes a mistake. He gets a little bit sideways, tries to correct the car, and we make contact. He goes into the barrier now as we dive down into turn 2. So now we take over the 4th position as we try to run down these next 3 cars that are trying to hang on fuel right now and tires as we come through approaching the final moments of this race. The field light would come on approaching just 2 laps to go now, so that was a bit of a concern. I was hoping to actually get the 2 laps to go before that field light came on, so I was definitely concerned about that, but of course I just decided we're going to push on and just whatever happens, happens at this point now, as I was giving it everything here, trying to run down these next few cars. So we're coming through to the final lap. The 19 of Jonathan gives up the lead to come into the pit lane. Now it's Eddie leading the way to the white flag here in the 88 car, looking for his first win actually on the season now as we dive down toward turn 1, the 4 of Durham, and second place. A lot of doubters lately about Eddie. Can he win? And he's about to prove a lot of those doubters wrong if he can hang on for this victory here in Road America now. So right on the back of the 4 car of Durham, just pushing as hard as I can because you just never know now. I obviously wasn't expecting to make it downfield at this point, but we get up the left-hand side now of Durham as we went down into turn 3 at the end of this long straightaway, and we take over the second position as Andrew is trying to move up into P3 as well behind us past the 4 car of Durham here. So I'm just, like I said, doing whatever I can to run down Eddie. We were closing the gap because he's saving so much to make it to the end of this race, and that was of course allowing me to close that gap pretty quickly, but we were running out of time very quick now, so the estimated fuel was now at 0 laps, so the car was going to run out of fuel at any moment. I just did not know when at this point here as we go down towards the carousel here on this final lap in Road America. Can Eddie hang on for the victory? It looks like, honestly, if we can just get through this kink up here without making any mistakes, he should be able to hang on to the victory no matter what the circumstance is now. As we came through, I look at my dash, the fuel says 3, so I know any moment now we are going to run out of fuel. I decided to not look at the dash because I didn't want to know. I was too scared. I was like, we're going to run out of fuel, I know it, but I was just hopeful that the car is going to make it to the end of this race here as we come through down towards the final portion of this track there. As I noticed, you can actually brake a lot later into that corner when you use up the grass now. As we come through towards the penultimate corner, now the car starts running out of fuel here as we go down into the penultimate corner on the final lap now as Andrew's coming through behind us there. As I go a little bit wide now, Andrew, he's going to go past on the right hand side, and Eddie though leads out of the final corner, and he is going to come through to win in Road America. Now as I pull over to the right hand side of the track, Andrew's going to go through to second place. The 4 of Durham passes me, so we're now down to P3 here in Road America. Coming to the line, there's cars coming behind us between the 24 of Connor as well as the 20 of Matt, our teammate, as I'm just hanging on for dear life. Please get to the line. It's not going to happen. The 24 and the 20 both get us at the line, so we come through to finish in the 6th position here in Road America. But at the end of the day, everything that went wrong, I wasn't too disappointed with P6. I'll definitely take it now, as obviously we should have been P2 apparently at the end there, which I was very surprised to find myself in position to get second place, but just didn't quite work out. But big congrats to Eddie with the victory. Very happy to see him get that first win on the season. One of my better friends in the Nitro League. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you do know what to do. I keep forgetting to show the points, but I'll try to get that in the next episode because it wasn't posted in the Discord. But that will do it though for this episode of the Nitro Racing League. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you thought about this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.